This is training video number 5 for OCC Life Group leaders. And this is a video that will help you prepare to host and plan a welcome party or a wedding celebration. Those words have replaced what we used to call baby shower and wedding shower. Baby shower now is called a welcome party. It's kind of a fun word, like we're welcoming the newborn into this world. And it's a celebration for that. And then wedding celebration, we're just celebrating their wedding. Pretty simple terminology, but I think it's effective. And the main reason we did this is because, there's 2 reasons. One, we changed the name because we don't do showers the way showers usually are done. So this already is a different event than a shower. It's kind of a misnomer anyways. And then 2, a lot of men who are newer to our culture scratch their heads at coming to a co-ed wedding shower or baby shower. So I figure let's just eliminate the word for them and make it a lot easier. So anyways, before you actually set up a planning meeting and bring in your core team and some other group members to start planning this event for someone in your group, I want to go over a few things. One, I just kind of want to set direction for the goals of this event, and so you can have these in your mind as far as moving towards helping your group plan this. Some of the goals is you're just really trying to celebrate together with the couple or the parent. Romans 12:15 asks us to rejoice with those who rejoice, and that this gives your group an opportunity to do that. It also is a time to highlight and encourage existing biblical character qualities in the couple or the parents, and then to commit as a congregation to assist the couple and parents as they take their next steps in this new season of life. It also provides an opportunity for your group to serve by facilitating the celebration, and it provides a value-shaping experience for those in attendance by highlighting good character qualities to the whole congregation that you've seen in this couple or in the parents. It's basically good gossip, and it kind of sets the pace in our culture for what God honors and values. This could potentially also provide an opportunity to do some evangelism. In case, the couple may or the parents may invite somebody who's far from God who comes and attends this event and actually is able to really see God's church in action here as we take care of one another and live differently. Sometimes it also, when parents or extended family members come, even if they already know God and they're involved in other churches, it helps them breathe a sigh of relief knowing that their child or children are being well taken care of at another church. I know that helps me. My daughter attends another church, and it helps me to know that she's included and is taken care of at that other congregation. You as a leader are really going to have to set the pace in leading the planning meeting and setting direction for this event. There's a few things I want you to think of. And there's some policies I actually kind of want you to think of, and this is in your handout, but I'll go over them with you, is you really want to throw a welcome party for anybody who's in your life group from the time it starts through the following summer after your group ends. So if your group, let's say, ends at the end of May, then still track them until groups start again in September. And if they're having a child, throw them a welcome party. If this is their first child, you want to throw a co-ed welcome party and honor both mom and dad. If this is their second or on child, then you only need to have a woman's party, and that can be a little bit, smaller event. The only time you would do a co-ed one for a consecutive child is if this is their first shower or party where they're having a child here at our church. Let's say they were at a previous church, or they just became a believer and started coming to our church, and now they're having their 3rd kid and they've never had anything like this, then you would go ahead and do a co-ed event at that point. Another policy I want you to follow is only have these events on the night that your group normally would meet for group night. There are a few exceptions for this, but you need to check with your coach regarding these exceptions, and also to make sure that those exceptions don't interfere with some other church calendar event. You may even just want to double check with the church calendar to make sure that there's nothing big on the night of your group also going on. However, there shouldn't be, but it's just always good to check. But yeah, check with your coach on any exceptions if that just doesn't work. So you're going to determine the scale, and you're going to really lead through, and you're going to provide the shower for the couple and the families. And you're also going to schedule a planning meeting. Now you can take the lead and plan each one of these events and work through your core team and through your group members. But if you have a good core team person that you think could handle taking on this event and doing the planning and everything, then go ahead and assign it to them and use it as an opportunity to train another leader. But only do that if you think it's possible. You can always check with your coach if you have any questions about that. You don't ever want to ask a non-core team member to lead a meeting that is arranging one of these events and to be the kind of like the main person in charge. You can ask them to take another leadership roles, like be in charge of food or be in charge of games and things like that, but not the main person who's leading the whole event. Leave that either with you or with a core team member. Once you do have this meeting, you're going to then contact the couple or the parents, and you're going to get a few things from them. You're going to give them a couple dates, or have them give you a couple dates on your group night or whatever else you're thinking that would work for them. Give them have them give you names and email addresses and maybe even addresses of anybody they'd like to invite outside of the group, whether that's in our church or other parts of, like extended family or friends that live locally. You're going to have to limit the size to the space that you're having it at. So just think through that, think, well, we have this many group members, and if they want to invite like 20 more people from OCC and then like 10 family members, and you need to look for a venue that can support that, or just tell them, well, you can only invite, 10 OCC other people and 5 family members or something like that. So, but just try to do your best to accommodate them as much as possible. And then have them let you know if there be any non-Christian people in attendance, so that you can kind of curtail any churchy language and have everything make sense during the actual events. So once you've planned your meeting with your core team and with any other members that you would invite from your group to help put this on, and don't be afraid to ask the group. Like basically, I just usually send out an email or even ask during group and say, hey, I'm planning so-and-so shower. We're going to do this, 1 hour before group next week. Come at 6 o'clock. I'll have pizza. You don't always have to do that, but this is what I do sometimes. I'll have pizza. Come at 6 o'clock and we'll start planning this person's party. And just ask and see who's coming, and then you'll know how much pizza to buy, and then you can just work through those people. But at this event, you're going to want to really communicate the goal of the event, which I just kind of went over. You want to make sure that they're aware of that, and then kind of what you're planning on doing. With the group, you want to explore some themes that fit the couple. For example, adventures in parenting. If they're adventure people and they're having a baby, maybe it's adventures in parenting. Or if they like to cycle or motorcycle and they're getting married, it could be marriage, the ride of a lifetime or something like that. You want to keep it simple, easy, strategic and meaningful, but not too elaborate. What we're not trying to do here is go really big with decor and themes. We're trying to essentially keep this pretty simple, but we want it to be meaningful. And you also really want to avoid if it's a co-ed shower, you want to kind of man it up a little bit. And what I mean by that is don't have the decorations or the theme be too feminine. It doesn't have to be all, barbells and barbed wire and stuff like that, but it just needs to be nice and sharp. And guys will participate in nice and sharp, and so will women. So, but guys typically don't participate in pink and fluffy. So just avoid that. And if you have any clarifications on that, feel free to ask. Then you're going to determine the celebration location. It's usually at someone's home. If it's not, then you're going to have to go through the right channels to make that work. But usually try to select someone, and it's always best if it's someone's home in your shower. In your, not in your shower. It's always best if it's someone's home in your group who could host it. At that event, you're also going to delegate the different roles and assignments. Those people don't necessarily have to be present at the meeting, but you can delegate it. So you want someone who's in charge of decor. And again, refrain from real elaborate decor. Keep it nice, keep it simple, keep it gender neutral, and if it's a mixed co-ed gender celebration. You want to have an MC. You want to have invitation, someone who can send out the invitation, including a registry or a way of giving them a gift. Someone in charge of food, someone in charge of a game. You really want to avoid awkward games. speaker or speakers, and this couple usually is intended to really encourage the couple based on the theme from the Bible and real life examples. So they really want to encourage them based on the theme and pull it from Scripture and then real life examples, maybe in their own life or things they've seen in the couple who is being honored life. It's best if speakers are from the group. It's okay if they're outside of the group, but part of OCC. You don't want to take speakers from outside of OCC at these kind of events. And please do not please don't use speakers outside of OCC. And then you want someone who can pray. It's usually one or two people who can pray for the couple at the end. Kind of an ideal setting is to have people in the group kind of doing the emceeing and games. And then sometimes you'll bring a couple in the group who've kind of mentored them or a little bit further ahead of them. Or it could be a couple outside of the group, but part of OCC who are ahead of them, have a relationship with them, who can speak into their life and give some real practical advice and a charge. And then you have another couple that's friends with them and involved with them to really pray a blessing over them in this new venture of their life. So, and then in some cases we have a keepsake for encouragement, whether that's a book that everybody signs or a photo album, or maybe it's even a book on like the particular topic of parenting or marriage or something like that. You may want to have everybody sign and give them that as a practical gift. That's optional, but it's fun to do. The goal of this meeting is to end with a clear action plan. So really make sure you can read through this, and this will help you, this whole document and this whole video will kind of help you think through how to end with a clear action plan. So here's the next I have here. I'm not going to necessarily go through this line by line, but I want you to be aware here is a generic celebration agenda. It starts with everything in the first 10 minutes, talks about what the MC will say. It actually gives you specific language to use, and I would really encourage you to stick to this agenda as much as possible. And the reason is we want to keep these events going year after year, group after group, person after person. These really are, if you've participated in one of these or had one where you were the actual person being honored and encouraged, you know that this is a special time in your life and in their life. And if we make them too elaborate or too crazy, we're going to eventually get to a place in church life where we can no longer do them. We'll be too big and they'll require too much time. So keeping them somewhat streamlined and similar will always be something that we can reduplicate as a congregation and really serving and honoring these people. So read through that, check it out, and then use all that information to really come up with a good plan. I hope this is helpful.